And this is the point. This is the point where we actually get. That is where we get also in terms of what is what is a socially responsible company. Can you be a socially responsible company and have some stockholders who become extremely rich, and who is, as I heard, buy the whole education for their hometown where they come from, and stuff like that. And can you have a country like Finland or like Denmark, for that matter, who becomes extremely rich from extracting oil or to make mobile phones, who is based on minerals from these places? How are we going to divide the richness here in the world? And the interesting point, I think, is that when we base our wealth on minerals coming from these areas, for me I can't look at it as anything else than robbery in high daylight. I mean, and this is really the issue. I think that we have to take our whole way of life, our whole civilization for evaluation, because our way of life and our rich societies are really based on the poverty of other people. And this, I think, we have to face in a completely new and more radical way, and find new ways to go about it. And then we have to look at capitalism as such.
But that's a great speech, but it's totally wrong. It's absolute rubbish, honestly. You really have to look at that, and again, take an example of Finland 100 years ago, and see how we have actually reached this point. Think about the history of Finland. Think about the bloody civil war. Think about everything that has happened so far. And think about the history and the way this country has progressed to where it is right now. This kind of a capitalism criticism speech although it sounds very, very tempting, it's really, I think, in many ways undermining the fact that any progress and any human development, where it is happening, it happens very much from the grassroots onwards. What the elements that you need is stability, peace, democracy, freedom, and the prospects for economic growth and well-being. It's not the capitalism that's the problem, it's the lack of capitalism, it's the lack of economy, it's the lack of markets. That is what is needed in the DRC.
The next point is that since you cannot really compare the capitalism that multinational corporations operating in Africa right now represent, you cannot compare that to the one that has built Finland up. Because, for example, if you had a metal producing town in Finland in the 17th, 18th century on until the 50s now, you had a factory that would commit to that town, to that place, that area for hundreds of years. And they would, the well-being of their workers was something that created their profit. So you have a lot of examples of capitalists being very, very supportive of their own communities because they had to, because it would not be profitable for them to come in and then leave after 15 years. But that's something that companies nowadays can do, and that means that just
you have
pure
built your business
capitalism.
On this kind of
And so pure capitalism in itself does not create stability. So that's why
I was saying it's a combination of
it was the lack of capitalism, and it's completely
I said rule of law, democracy, and stability. Those are the elements for the market economy to flourish. It doesn't happen without that. That is the point. That is the order. You have to get that.
But it's like the World Trade Organization. They say open your markets to third world countries. We just need the penetration of capitalism, and then everything will be fine. Now we are here 20, 30 years later, and what do we see? Even more poor people, even more.
The World Trade Organization isn't 30 years old.
Okay, before we
I just have to reply on this, since you are saying that you shouldn't go into politics and then you keep a long ideological speak about capitalism. And I just think when we are talking about extractive industries, I think it's obscene that you could defend capitalism. It's the most corrupt business in the world. It's estimated that $1,000 billion a year is being illegally taken out of the third world countries in tax fraud. And this is only the illegal part, and then there's all the legal things that they can do to pay no tax.
Yeah,
and this
that is a problem. That is a problem.
You always say that it's corrupt African leaders, but this is 5% of these money. Not saying that you are saying. This is only 5%, and then in between 60 and 70% of these money is actually illegally extracted from big Western companies, the capitalists, the spearheads of capitalism. Every year, from third world countries. And this is, I mean, this is just, what I'm just saying is that if you don't regulate capitalism, it will be the cruelest ones who are defining the market.
I didn't say that, but